Today, October 14, 2025, I bring you some shocking news from the world of rugby. After a disappointing run of away games, the Sharks are now at a turning point in the URC season. The upcoming 2 home games are not only a chance for them to regain points, but also a test of the character and spirit of a team that was among the strongest last season. Head coach John Plumtree has frankly admitted that the Sharks have a huge job to do, and rightly so. They must recreate the image of themselves last year, when they defeated both Ulster and Scarlets, if they are to revive their hopes in the fierce race for the URC this season. I think what coach John Plumtree shared after the Sharks' disappointing run of games is not just a reminder, but a real wake-up call for the whole team, a team that was among the strongest last season, now struggling in the bottom half of the table. For me, this is not just a matter of results, but of identity, spirit and the Sharks' adaptation to the new season of the Rugby Football Union Championship. I have watched all 3 of the Sharks' tours, and I have to say that it was a run that reflected their imbalance. The 35-19 defeat to Glasgow was not just a loss in terms of score, but a loss in terms of organisation, a loss in terms of defence that was not tight enough to cope with the physical strength of the opposition. The 17-17 draw against the Dragons showed an effort to improve, but still an image of the team chasing the opponent, not controlling the tempo of the game. And in the 31-5 loss to Leinster, a performance I considered the poorest, the Sharks were completely outclassed in every aspect. From tactics, ball control, to the ability to take advantage of opportunities. What disappointed me most was the lack of reaction in the second half against Leinster. Despite losing a man to a yellow card, the Sharks were unable to create any significant pressure. For a team that reached the semi-finals last year, that is unacceptable. Firstly, the lack of connection between the lines. The Sharks forwards did not create enough pressure at set pieces, leading to them frequently losing possession. When that happened, the defenders had no space to deploy their tactics. Secondly, the lack of spirit. I felt the team did not have the heat that helped them beat Ulster and Scarlets last season. When they went behind, the Sharks did not react as strongly as before. They seemed to accept the situation rather than reverse it. Thirdly, the imbalance in their attacking tactics. Their moves lacked surprise. When opponents see through, the Sharks have no plan B. Ethan Hooker scored a brilliant goal, but one individual moment cannot cover up a disjointed attack. I agree with Plumtree's statement. After a long tour, there are many excuses: weather, travel, fatigue, but at this level, no one accepts that. The team needs to return to Durban and prove to the fans that they are still the Sharks with fighting spirit, with a desire to win, and not a team that has lost its way. The next 2 games against Ulster and Scarlets will be a measure of their character. I think if they don't win at least one convincing victory, the Sharks' season will soon fall into crisis. In my opinion, the Sharks need 3 core elements to revive. Tactical discipline, need to reorganize the defense and improve their ability to compete in one-on-one duels. At URC level, if you lose a set piece, you've pretty much lost half the game. Team spirit, Plumtree must rekindle the Sharks' DNA, the grit, the ability to counterattack quickly and the spirit of not giving up. Take advantage of home advantage. This is a golden opportunity. Kings Park has always been a place where the Sharks can explode with the support of the crowd. A win against Ulster will not only bring points, but also inspire confidence. I see in Plumtree the calmness of someone who understands the urgency of the situation. He doesn't blame, he doesn't make excuses, he just focuses on responsibility. That's the quality of a great coach. But now, it's not about words, it's about actions. Sharks can't continue to play catch-up rugby. As Plumtree admits, they have to take the initiative, they have to dictate the game, and they have to show they're good enough to compete for the title. The next 2 games, against Ulster and Scarlets, will not only decide their position in the table, but also define the season. If the Sharks win, they will be back to their usual self, strong, unpredictable and hungry. If they lose, I fear the cracks in the squad will become a deep hole that cannot be mended for the rest of the season. I believe the Sharks still have a chance to come back, but they will have to change, not just technically, but mentally. This is the time for the team to prove they are worthy of the shark symbol, the creature that never stops, only moves forward. The next 2 home games will be a true test of the Sharks' spirit and resilience. If they can replicate last season's wins over Ulster and Scarlets, the fans' faith will be restored and the team will regain its place in the URC. But if they continue to be inconsistent and lackluster, The season could slip away from them in the early stages. This is the time for the Sharks to prove they are more than just ambition, they have the grit, discipline and determination to make it happen.